It's your girl back for another episode of BMF, okay? Welcome to Pretty Girl Loves Trap content. I am reviewing / recapping BMF Season 1, Episode 5, titled Secrets and Lies. Y'all, when I tell you my blood pressure was all the way up. Shout out to Fat Joe. Like, this whole episode had me on the edge of my seat, y'all. Like, yeah, I don't know the last time a show had me like this. I was stressed out, not knowing, what was going to happen. Yeah, your girl was on edge, okay? Like, I was up in Detroit in 85, 6, wherever this was. Like, I felt like I was in it. So that's a mark of a great episode, y'all. Like, I really enjoyed this episode. And I felt that, as the season progressed, it's going to get better and better. So they're doing a really good job. I'm really enjoying this episode. All right. So let's get into it. So mostly like, other episodes, we begin with a flashback. Okay. And grown Meech, he's narrating, everybody pretty much tells, lies and has secrets. So they're going through a little montage on how, the family back in the day used to tell little quote unquote white lies to each other. The father is kind of lying to the mother, agreeing that a dress looked good on her. The mother is giving Terry a little note to tell his teacher that he missed school because he was sick, but he wasn't actually sick. Their lights were off. And, black mamas be proud, okay? You was not going to know all of our business and what's going on up in here, okay? So, yeah, Terry, he wasn't sure, understanding why, he had to lie. But the mom was like, just give it a darn note, boy. Do what I tell you. We even see the little sister, she lying, saying she doing homework, but she looking at a little magazine with MC Light or what have you. So yeah, this is pretty common. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's easier to lie than tell the truth. And it was kind of funny with the parents lying to each other because, nah, bro, like, I'm big into fashion and clothes as well as my husband. And if one of us ain't looking right, we gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are stepping out as a cohesive unit. We're going to make sure we look good, okay? So, yeah, that was a pretty funny montage, all right? So, we, sped up, back to, what the quote-unquote current day is. And we're having a meeting with the lawyers, okay? Because we need to get paid for this eye situation, okay? So Pastor Snoop's niece, she's representing Terry. So we have Terry and the parents, and they're meeting with, I believe, is the hospital's lawyers. And, they're going over the facts and, what's going on. So the lawyer, she's, advising Terry on what to say, what not to say, what to agree to, what not to agree to. And I think she's doing a pretty good job. So the lawyer on the hospital side was pretty much saying like, hey, yeah, we have evidence and photographs that you and your brother out here on them streets, you know what I'm saying? And they got pictures of them in the fur coats and the chains and the Benzes. So they're pretty much trying to state that the reason Terry may have had issues with his eye after he got shot was due to, being in a quote unquote dangerous drug game. Okay. And of course we know that's not the truth, but that's a good out for them. So I don't blame them for trying everything they possibly can. And yeah, when the evidence is appeared, the parents, they're feeling that way. The dad, he got that, disappointed looking. The mom, she was very disappointed as well, which I really feel like she has some inkling that Terry is out there in them streets, y'all. Like, it's just a mother instinct. And mothers, they tend to lie to themselves when they don't want to believe that their child is, doing some foul-ish. So yeah, the lawyer was like, you know what? We're going to pause this, okay? Because I don't like the way y'all talking up in here, okay? So, we're going to see a little continuation in the future. So in the next scene, we see Meech, and he's at Pat's shop, and he's greeted ever so politely and whatnot I would call her Queen Latifah, okay? She remind me of Queen Latifah, you know what I'm saying? It's Pat's new, muscle, if you will, his new right-hand woman, okay? And she's searching Meech at the door, and she like, he's great. And so Pat was like, yeah, you can't trust these fools, okay? So he was like, old girl, get Meech his re-up. So Meech was like, nah, bruh. I'm no longer going to be needing your services anymore, okay? And Pat was like, what, bruh? So, Meech, he was, very polite, if you will. He was saying, I appreciate all of your services and everything you have done, but I will, politely decline. So Pat was like, oh, y'all must got another connect or whatever. And so, Meech, he pretty much told Pat, like, hey, you you're pretty much breaking the crack commandments, okay? You are getting high on your own supply. So, of course, Pat, he didn't like that, okay? People don't like to hear the truth, okay? He low-key was doing an intervention or whatnot. But, Pat ain't trying to hear that. He deemed it as disrespectful, okay? Because, there's still some sort of hierarchy in this situation. And, Pat, he gave him a nice little punch or what have you. And Pat was like, bruh, I still own your rights, okay? And I was like, oh, this is some real, like, master-ish. Like, ooh, Pat, I don't like this. And don't get me wrong, I know they owe a lot to you. But dang, bro, I mean, what do you expect? Like, you're not letting them live, okay? Like, it felt like some real record label type ish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Meech trying to buy back his masters and Pat is not having it, okay? Like, it was giving me real Diddy vibes. So, Pat was like, you know what? You're excommunicated, okay? Excommunicado, okay? It was giving me some John Wick vibes, okay? I love me some John Wick. So if y'all have seen that movie, y'all will understand the reference. So, y'all, we are met with the fake ass Huxtables, okay? We have Lamar and Monique, aka Cash Doll. They're in the bed or what have you. So the daughter, she comes busting in the bedroom. It's like, Daddy, you're here. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl's gonna be messed up, okay? Where is the real daddy? I need some backstory. I'm pretty sure he's probably dead. But yeah, bro, like, I don't like this at all. I do not like this. So, she comes in, was like, Daddy, can you, pick me up from school today? And so Cash Doll was like, I'm gonna see. So, he asked the girl to make some breakfast. She's going in the kitchen making some pancakes or what have you. And, he's like, I'm trying to prove myself to you, Cash Doll. You don't trust me to pick her up. And she was like, you've known for being late, bruh. But I'm going to give you this shot. I'm going to give you one more chance. Biggie, give me one more chance. Sorry. You got to do the little bop, the little total bop in the video. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, all right, I'm going to let you go. So, he's trying to, get up in there, okay? And, so this is going to be interesting coming up. But yeah, he's happy with the opportunity. So they proceed to, have round 2 or whatever. And she got the old little raggedy necklace, okay, that he gave her via Meech, okay? It's very nice. It's not raggedy, y'all. But yeah, everything that glitters ain't gold. So yeah, the next thing we see T and Meech. They're at some house. And T is pretty much discussing like his frustration. He is really torn because he wants justice for his eye. And Meech is telling him like, yo, bro, like if you proceed with this case, they're going to start digging and digging and digging. Okay. They already see that we got pictures of us in gold chains and cars and whatnot. Like it can really turn bad for our, illegal business and whatnot. So he is not sure what to do. They pretty much don't have anything. Lamar wiped them out, so they're not sure how they're able to, continue business or start business with Big L. And yeah, Pat pretty much cut them off. So they're like in a, desperate situation. So, Meech was like, yeah, bruh, everybody got a weakness and we need to get out. T was like, we got to get our stuff back from Lamar. And so Meech was like, bro, I got a plan. You ain't going to like it. And I don't even think I'm going to like it. He was not feeling it. And it reminded me, and I hate comparing the shows, but it really gave me Lulu vibes from Power Book 3, how he didn't want to kill, what's the boy name? Kanan's friend. Sorry, y'all. I'm having a brain fart. But yeah, he was really having some hesitation. You could tell it was something he probably did not want to do. But yeah, we're going to see what he comes up with. So we see, the school bell is ringing and all the kids are being dismissed from school for the school day. And, she's walking out of the school and, her face just lights up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, Lamar, you don't pick your daughter up. No. Tisk. That is a whole lie because it's Meech, y'all. Is Meech picking her up, okay? What a little coinky ding. The same day Lamar is given permission to pick her up, Meech picks her up. A little TV drama, I guess. But little side note, I did watch an interview a couple weeks ago with Cash Doll. She was on a podcast and they was pretty much asking her about her experience, acting, This is something she's always wanted to do and this is a new venture. And, she was just explaining her experience and she pretty much let the cat out the bag, in a sense. And she pretty much stated that, the emotions, were draining. She had to go from one emotion to the other in one particular day. And she mentioned that her daughter would get kidnapped. And so I already kind of knew that Zoe would get kidnapped. So this part isn't a surprise. My question, would be I wasn't sure how it was going to happen because of course with the episode progressing we see that the school is the possible way she was going to get kidnapped, but I wasn't sure how it was going to go down because we saw when Lamar popped up on her the first time, she was like, nah, bruh, she was really on some stranger danger type ish. Like she got a little street smarts to her. So I was really trying to figure out how she would actually get kidnapped and nobody not notice, because I'm pretty sure if it was a stranger or someone she wasn't comfortable with, she would tell us, an adult or scream or whatever. But since she knows Meech, is familiar with Meech, and, that made it easier for her to be quote unquote kidnapped. Now, this is my gripe with mothers calling their boo things, I would say, uncles. I hate the term uncle when, women refer to their lovers, and tells their children to refer to their lovers as uncle, because for this very reason, it confuses the child, I'm pretty sure, when Cash Doll and Meech was getting it on, the daughter was probably asleep. She probably didn't see too many romantic things going on between them. They probably kept it real PG if they were all in the same room. But I feel like, the daughter is pretty much street smart in the sense where she may not know everything, but she has some sense. I could tell that Cash Doll / Bonique, she's been instilling, some, reasonable and some, valuable lessons in her child. So the fact that, because she told Meech, when she saw him, she embraced him and hugged him. Hey, Uncle Meech, I ain't seen you in a while, blah, blah, blah. I thought my dad was picking me up. And he was like, hey, your parents got caught up, so your mom told me to come pick you up. So in this situation, okay, she calls Meech Uncle Meech. Her dad was supposed to pick her up. And yeah, that in her head, she's like, okay, this is my uncle. My dad's supposed to pick me up. So in her brain, she's like, oh, we family, so this is cool. But if her mom would have broke it down to her like, hey, your dad is your dad. Now me and your dad are back together. Uncle, Meech was actually my boyfriend and we are no longer together. So if the daughter knew that, in her head, maybe a little, ring a ding ding, a little bell, a little light bulb would have came like, hey, my mom's old boyfriend is here and my daddy / mommy / new boyfriend isn't here. So, this is a little off-putting. Like, she may have hesitated going to meet. I'm not sure. She probably still would have went, but at least she would have probably caught wind like, something is off. But since we're using this uncle term, she is thinking everything is peachy keen. So that's my frustration with the whole uncle-ish. And I really hate when parents lie, because most likely when parents lie to their children is to make the parents' lives easier because they don't have to, tell their tea for, a lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? It eases the things for the parents, but it's not doing the kids any justice. It's just prohibiting them and, hindering them in a sense because the kid, is not knowing of everything. And of course, kids don't need to know everything, but in this situation, she should have been put up on game. I'm just saying. But yeah, y'all, I'm ranting because this really bothers me because this could have turned another way if Cash Doll was honest with her daughter, okay? So yeah, y'all. Whew, Lord, let me calm down. Okay. But yeah, they proceed to go in the car, and Meech is in a whole nother car. He's in like an older school, like some Dukes of Hazzard type ish. I think it's similar to Lamar's car. So he's, being incognito and what have you. And she's like, hey, he's like, we're going to go on a little adventure. We're going to have fun. And, they go off, and, have a nice little afternoon. So Lamar shows up all late and whatnot. I'm like, see, Lamar, this is partially your fault. Partially your fault, okay? It looked like he got there like 20 minutes after school let out. And so he sees a little girl. I think that Zoe was with one of the first episodes. He was like, hey, have you seen Zoe? She was like, oh, I think her dad picked her up. So he looking like, something ain't right. So we see little Zane. He, calls Lamar. He's like in the middle of the street and he gives Lamar a note. Say, hey, we got Zoe. We want to even exchange. Okay. We want our drugs and our money back and you can have your daughter back. So Lamar hems him up like, he a little frustrated. You can tell he want to kill him, but he can't. He got to keep his composure because he needs to have his daughter back safe and sound. So he used the payphone. He calls the crew. He was like, hey, we got to have a company meeting, okay? It's urgent. Come over ASAP pronto. So back at the parents' house, okay, the lawyer is there. She's on the phone, I guess, with the hospital's lawyers. And she is not happy with their offer. Okay, they're offering $25,000 for this situation, okay? And, the dad was like, hey, that's a lot of money. That sounds real good. The mom was like, nah, bro, like that is not enough. Okay. That is not enough. Our child is partially blind. Like his vision is worth more than that. So they're asking the lawyer what to do. And she was like, hey, the fact that it looks like Meech and T are selling drugs, that's not going to look good, with the jury and whatnot. And so the mom asked me, she looks at the picture from the lawyer's briefcase of T coming out of the, car, looking like a nice, good old professional drug dealer and whatnot. And she was like, look me in the eyes. And I'm like, oh, mama, like, this fool struggling with the eye situation. But long story short, she was like, I'm going to ask you this one time, okay, baby boy? Are you selling them drugs out there in the street with your brother? She didn't say it like that. I sounded like a whole slave, y'all. But yeah, he pretty much lied. He was like, no, mama, I am not. And, of course, it's like an answer she wanted to hear, but not want to hear. Because she knew like those motherly instincts was brewing, okay? But I'm like, mama, you had taught him how to lie, girl. You taught him how to lie. He been lying, for years now, since that little note that you gave him told the teacher he was sick. He was sick, but the lights was off. That's why he didn't go to school. So it's all your fault too, mama. It's all your fault too. I'm blaming everybody because I hate that they're blaming Meech for everything. It is pissing me off. The parents are not taking any accountability and they're not giving, T any accountability. And it's pissing me off, y'all. Like, for real. But long story short, the lawyer was like, yeah, we got 3 days to decide what to do. If we want to take this $25K or if we want to try and take this to trial, you know what I'm saying? And figure it out. And we may not get anything. We may get less than 25. We may get more. It's a gamble. It's all a gamble. Okay. So y'all, we see old Bobby and Whitney, like this dysfunctional behind little situationship. So we see Kato and B Mickey, they in bed, y'all. And they having that little afterglow and what have you. And so B Mickey was like, dang girl, like, you ain't had nothing to do with me. And now, we over here sexing and whatnot. Like, what's up with you, girl? And don't get me wrong, I did not anticipate B Mickey asking these questions, but I am happy to know that I slept on him. Like, okay, B Mickey, a little round of applause. Like, you ain't as dumb as you appear to be. Because I was thinking he was not going to just understand what she was doing or whatnot. But he was like, what's going on? She kind of she didn't really give him an answer. She was pretty much like, if $100 fell on your lap, would you question where it came from, or would you count your blessings? And he was like, I'm going to just count my blessings. And I'm just like, this is not really an answer. But he don't want to do nothing to mess up his little, cookie treats. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to go with the flow and just pretty much be quiet at this point. So they're, still talking and, whatever. And she gets a page from Meech. And she calls him and he was like, I need you to meet me at your house ASAP pronto. So she a little nervous and not knowing what the hell going on. So y'all, we back with the 12th Street Boys, okay? They're having a little conference, company meeting. And yeah, Lamar was like, yo, they got my daughter. Yeah, we need to roll up on them fools, okay? We don't want no problems. We need to make sure this is done smoothly and nicely. And so I'm not sure of the gang member's name, but he's been always rebellious against Lamar, okay? He does not feel Lamar whatsoever. And he was like, hey, you told us. Our company policy stated, okay? This is not a personal company, okay? We don't deal with anything that's personal. Everything is strictly business, okay? And now you're telling us to now, delve into your personal situation. So Lamar, he was like, yeah, bro, for real? He was like, all right, you right. Y'all can go on. Y'all can step off. And so Lamar low-key, starts strangling old dude with a belt. And, he lets him live. He was like, yeah, y'all can step off. I don't need y'all. So, yeah, the choking of old boy will pretty much, concluded the meeting. And Lamar said, hey, you need to find me them light-skinned Negroes, okay? Okay? Even though Terry, he's more brown-skinned, but that's neither here nor there, okay? So, back at the precinct, y'all, Officer Crooked Cop is approached by, I would say, Blanca Rodriguez, for lack of a better reference, okay? And she was like, hey, we got a witness to someone possibly, having more information about, J-Mo. Because, he's quote-unquote missing, all right? And so he was like, why you coming to me? Go to my partner. Like, I ain't got time. She was like, I'm going to be observing, okay? And y'all going to handle this. Of course, he's trying to stay far away from this as possible. But at the same time, he kind of needs to know the ins and outs of the case to kind of also save him because he may be implicated. So it's kind of a sticky situation, okay? So they go into the interrogation room and the partner is pretty much taking the lead in this interrogation, okay? He's asking the guy about, the details, and this guy is pretty much a human computer, okay? He is one of those dudes, those little Geek Squad dudes that just know everything. He's very detail oriented, and this is the perfect witness. But at the same time, we don't like this because we're not trying to get caught up in these streets, okay? We're not trying to catch a case. So he's proceeded to be asked, hey, here's some mugshots. Do you recognize anyone? Of course, Meech is in one of the photos. He was like, nah, I don't recognize nobody. I was like, whew, thank you, Lord. Like, I was stressed out. I'm like, Lord, if he picks out Meech, I'm going to be upset, okay? I had a little PTSD, okay? I watched enough First 48. You know what I'm saying? I was real nervous, okay? So, the crooked cop, he was like, all right, thank you for the information. We can go. So they proceed to leave out, and the witness kind of looks back at, crooked cop like, like he kind of recognized him, or is kind of, remembering his face or something. I'm like, oh Lord. So yeah, it's getting real heated up in here, you guys. Like I don't know what's going on. Whew. So back at the parents' house, they're having a little discussion about the whole case situation and talking about Meech and Terry. Of course, they have a difference of opinions. You know what I'm saying? The mom wants to fight for this case. She strongly believes, her son is deserving of more than 25K. And the dad, like, we need to just take this money, okay? The dad, he ain't thinking about long term. He's thinking about, what he did say, this can help put Terry through school and find another way out instead of selling drugs. But $25,000, I don't know how much college tuition was back in the day. But yeah, we gonna need a little more money, Pops. I ain't gonna get him through, but maybe a couple years. Maybe if you go to community college, that may pay for that tuition, but not a full-blown 4-year college, situation. So, yeah, $25,000, that's not going to go through a lot. And I know the father, he wants to use some of that money to get back on top of the bills, thereby allowing him to go back and come back to the house, and the mom was like, nah, bruh, we going to be fighting, okay? Because we need to take this case as far as we can go. And the father was like, what gives you the right to be making decisions? She was like, well, since you, took it upon yourself to move out, I'm the HNIC up in here, okay? You don't get to have your cake and ice cream. You don't need, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to, like, move out and leave me in this, warm, cold bed alone, without your warm body. Like, no, you don't get all that. Like, yeah, the pop's tripping, okay? You ain't about to be able to do whatever the hell you want. Like, that ain't gonna work, bruh. That is not going to happen. So I'm proud of the mom stepping up, sticking to her guns. So, y'all, we at Kato's house, okay? So, apparently, Meech, was trying to have Kato babysit Monique's daughter, okay? And she was like, nah, bro, like, I ain't trying to do this. Like, I don't want no parts of this. I don't like kids. Like, that ain't me. And so, him and Terry is pretty much trying to convince her, hey, like, we ain't going to do nothing to the little girl. We just want you to hold her for a minute. And so she gets a call from Lamar during this conversation, okay? And I'm like, this is very risky. Like, you low-key got Lamar on the phone, like, inches from talking to Meech and Terry. And, like, how is this volume situation? Sometimes, on the phone with somebody, you can hear the other person. So I'm like, But, of course, back in the day, we had those long, corded house phones. So she was able to go through, like, the hallway and go to another room to continue this conversation with Lamar. He was like, hey, Meech took my daughter. Do you know anything about it? And she was like, nah, bruh. He was like, if you find out anything, you need to contact me ASAP pronto. So he kind of notices, some extra noise in the house. And he was like, somebody over there. He was, she was like, nah, bruh, it's my TV, whatever. So, of course, he's like not truly completely trusting of her. So she goes back and, back in the room, and Meech and Terry is gone. Of course, Zoe, she's still up in there. So she was like, dang, they done stuck me with this girl. Like, yeah, it was getting real sticky icky up in there for Kato. it was a hot ass mess. So, with Meech and Terry, they're leaving Kato's house, and T was like, yo, this is going way too far. Like, we pretty much put a bounty on our kids' heads because we putting kids in the mix. Like, this is too much. And Meech was like, hey, bro, like, this is pretty much all we can do to get our money and our drugs back. Like, I have been given no other options, bro. Like, for real. And I like Meech. He is pretty much showing himself as a forward thinker and a master planner. And I love that. Not only T is giving the credit and having ideas, and T mainly comes up with ideas. Well, in the past episodes, he's shown to come up with ideas and Meech will always implement them. But now we're kind of seeing the table turn a little bit. So they're really showing how great this partnership is. Like, they both have strengths and weaknesses, but they pretty much are, just a great pair, okay? Nice little peanut butter and jelly, you know what I'm saying? Like, hamburger and cheese, little sugar and Kool-Aid. Like, they work well together, okay? So, yeah, y'all, I really love seeing this dynamic between the brothers. So, we at Lamar's spot. I don't know if it's Slick's house or they're always showing this little dirty-ass backyard. So, I presume that it's Slick's house that he's staying with. They're probably having a whole little roommate situation. Who knows? But, yeah, Monique comes by and she was like, hey, like, I've been trying to call you. Like, where's Zoe? Like, we need to go home. So he pretty much tell her, like, yeah, Meech took Zoe. So she going buck wild, like, what? What's going on here? I'm calling the cops. He was like, no, you can't do that. Okay, we're doing illegal things here. We cannot involve the po-po. And so she was like, oh, this is because of y'all street stuff. This is because of y'all street stuff. And I'm like, of course, she probably didn't foresee this beef, spewing to the point where her daughter would get kidnapped. But at the end of the day, when you are lying down with criminals, you need to understand and be fully aware of what you're possibly getting yourself into. I'm just saying, like, you always gotta have that mindset. Like, I don't know Cash Doll's specific age in this show. I mean, Zoe's like 12. So I would say that Cash Doll is at least 29, 30 if she had her as a teen. Like, come on now. By that time, at 30, come on now. You ain't dumb. You ain't no little schoolgirl. Like, girl, like, come on. I mean, I feel sorry for her, kind of, whatnot. But, yeah, I don't feel bad for you. You know what you was getting yourself into, especially messing with crazy Lamar. And the fact that they both been popping up your house unannounced. Like, you should have known something was brewing or bound to brew with them. Like, girl, please, come on. So, y'all, we at the precinct, okay? And so, the crooked cop, he's eating his lunch or what have you. And so the cop, the good cop, he's pretty much telling him, like, hey, the autopsy came back. It was a gunshot wound, cause of death. And, of course, that was self-explanatory. So he was like, okay, that was, pretty much a given. And he was like, is there anything else I should be aware of? And he was like, well, J-Lo had 2 pierced ears, so we only came across 1 earring. So he's missing a diamond stud. So, Crooked Cop was just blowing up, hey, maybe it's in a river somewhere. Like, that don't seem like a big deal, but the cop was like, okay, like, whatever. But of course, the crooked cop is kind of still looking shook, like, oh, Lord, like, I need to be on the lookout now, okay? And I don't know why this whole little montage with this crooked cop is really reminding me of this movie, Out of Time, with Denzel Washington and Sanaa Lathan. Denzel was playing a cop, and long story short, without giving it away, he's pretty much in a situation where he's kind of implicated in a crime. So this whole movie is pretty much him trying to clean up his mess. But y'all should check it out. It came out like in the late 90s, but it's called Out of Time. Y'all should check it out. But yeah, it reminded me of this, that movie. So yeah, y'all, we back at Kato's house, y'all. And Lamar popped up like some popcorn, y'all. He was like, nah, bro, this whole little phone conversation ain't sit well with him. And he was like, I needed to see what's going on, okay? So he's rummaging through the house like Kato, like, hold up, there's some cartoons playing here. Like, what's going on? She was like, I love the cartoons, okay? I love the Bugs Bunny. So, of course, he's not believing her. And he's going up through the house. There's this little locked, closed door. And, you could tell, like, that's where the little girl was. And so he opens the door and she's gone. So Kato's looking surprised, like, whoo, Lord, I get to live another second of the day, Lord. Like, she was a little confused at first. She was like, oh, where's the little girl at? But Lamar was not playing games. So they proceed to go back, like, in the living room. And Kato peeps Meech and Zoe kind of going towards, I guess, the street. They're kind of, you can see their little figures, their shadows through the blinds. And so Kato, some quick thinking, she was like, hold the fuck up. Like, I need to stall Lamar up in this house so they won't interact. So, she proceeds to kind of stall him, I guess, ask him questions or whatever, and keep him in the house. So, finally she got to a point where she didn't see Meech and Zoe anymore. Because if he would have made a quick turn, he would have noticed them, like going in through the alley or whatever. But yeah, like, Kato, she was stressed out. Like, she's going to have another session with B. Mickey after this. Like, this is too much. So Lamar, he gets a little piece of paper that Lil Zane, gave him, what have you. So it had a phone number. So he calls this number, and lo and behold, it's Meech's cell phone, okay? So by this time, him and Zoe, they're already in the car. They're on their way, to the next destination, okay? And so, he pretty much is like, hey, Meech, yes, you have something of mine, sir, and I will politely like it back. And Meech was like, sure, I just want my drugs and my money, and you can have your doll back, okay? Of course, it wasn't that polite, but y'all know what I mean. And Lamar said something that was very surprising to me. He said, I ain't gonna give your ish back, okay? So if you want to do something, pretty much do whatever you need to do, whatever you have to do. And I was just like, whoa, like, really? Like, that pretty much indicated, like, I'm not giving you your money, your drugs. So if you're gonna kill my daughter, this is what you're gonna have to do. And I'm like, I didn't expect that to hear that from him, y'all. I was just like, hold up. Like, does he really love Zoe as much as we think he do? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of scratching my head right now. I'm a little confused here. But yeah, I was really shocked to hear that. I was clutching my pearls. So yeah, pretty much. And it was interesting because Lamar called Meech from Kato's house, but I'm not sure how much the phone technology was in terms of tracing calls or what have you. But yeah, if we had, call ID or the cell phone service that we had today, he would have been like, oh, you at Kato's house? But the fact that Meech took Zoe without Kato knowing, he pretty much snuck in Kato's house and got old girl, that pretty much indicates that he don't trust Kato. So hopefully she will be found out shortly, okay? So yeah, I was really pro Kato, and then I was like, oh no, Kato, you salt and double O agent up in here. I don't like you no more, but I don't want you to die. But now I'm to the point where I don't really mind if she dies at this point. Like, I know that sounds bad. I was really on some girl power-ish, but I feel like if she was a man, I really want to have sympathy for her. So am I being sexist, y'all? Y'all let me know. Let me know in the comments. But y'all, this next scene was bossed up, okay? They had Rakim playing. I ain't no joke. So we see T, he pulled up in his Benz to this little auto shop, right? And so we see in another direction, we see the 12th Street boys. They're pretty much, it looks like they was probably tailing Terry. So Terry probably made himself or wherever he was going very obvious so he can be tailed. So we see like 3 of 12th Street guys. They're approaching the auto shop with some guns. Next thing we see the 12th Street boys kind of going back at him. One shoots at the 12th Street and pretty much F's them up. And they throw Slick in the trunk of the car. So they all giggling happy. Like, this was some real cool ish. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was giggling happy too. I was like, yeah, we got these fools. The inner gangster me was happy, y'all. But T, I was feeling him. Like, he was cool. Like, he ain't blink no eye. Oh, Lord, I hate these eye references, y'all. But yeah, T, he was unfazed. Like, he was real smooth and suave during this. I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling you. That iron fist that he be talking about. So I really liked it, y'all. So we're at this warehouse. They're pretty much, got this typical, hostage scene occurring. We have Slick, he's in a car, Lord, and not in the car, in a chair. He's all tied up. We got T and B Mickey pretty much interrogating him, trying to get the info on where the money and the drugs are. Slick, he is an OG. He is not phased, okay? Like, they are effing him up. And he's like, I can't help you. This man is a vault. He is not getting anything to these guys, okay? And they're getting frustrated. And B Mickey is a hothead. Like he about to pop him like he popped J-Mo. And I'm like, see, B Mickey, I was giving you credit with, asking questions with Kato and whatnot. But yeah, you back on the, FU list because you are a little too hot-headed, bro. Like, he doesn't think far, and it's really pissing me off. Like, shooting someone is not always the answer and the option. At least get some information first. Like, dang, let the dude sweat a little bit before you wanted to shoot him. Like, he was doing too much, y'all. But I really like Slick. Like, he brings so much comic relief. He really gives me man boy from Snowfall vibes. Like, he is hella funny. But he said something that I don't know. I feel like it's going to be one of those Easter eggs. He told me, Mickey, I'ma effing kill you. And it was one little line. But y'all, I don't know. I'm feeling possibly Slick may kill B Mickey. But I forgot to add, Slick is up in these streets limping, okay? So yeah, he was actually the one that Hoop shot in the stash house. So that was an interesting little fact, okay? So y'all, Lord, this is the dumbest scene. So we are at the precinct garage or what have you, and Officer Crooked Cop, he in there searching for something, y'all. And at first I was like, what's he looking for? Lo and behold, in a little cushion, he finds J-Mo's earring. And so his partner, he's had this like little authority like voice. Like he was like, what are you doing? Like, damn, like, calm down. We partners. You are not my boss. Calm down. Those little coworkers that you have, like, y'all in the same, pay grade, but they think, they entitled to know what you got going on. Like, mind your business. Like, mind your business. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're not signing my checks. Okay? But yeah, Crooked Cop pretty much lied to him and said, hey, I'm trying to find my car keys. The cop, he offered some assistance. He was like, nah, I'm good. But he actually did find the diamond earring or cubic zirconium or wherever he got it. I don't know where he got it from the mall or what have you, wherever the drug dealers get their earrings, from. So yeah, that is found. And I'm like, oh Lord, like, please dispose of this quickly. Okay. We don't need this popping up. So back at the warehouse with the torturing and whatnot, Meat shows up, of course, overseeing because, of course, T and B Mickey are not doing a good job handling this quote-unquote witness or what have you. So Meat, she came with a whole nother approach, okay, because Pat has schooled him on how to handle these old school dudes, okay? So he gave Slick a 40, whatever, to quench his thirst and, just say, hey, I know you're OG. So we got to figure this out. So long story short, he told Slick, like, hey, let's go over to the window over here. So he shows Slick Zoe in the car. She listening to music, whatever. He was like, you either tell us where the money is and, you will look like a hero if you, give Lamar to give Chloe to Lamar. You're looked at, as a hero, that saves the day because, we know the only person you really fear is Lamar. So this will, grant you and keep you in his good graces. So, of course, this was a great plan. I'm glad, Zoe was not hurt or what have you. But yeah, this was actually a great plan and a great idea. So back at Cash Doll's house, I'm sorry, I love Cash Doll's name, even though her character name is Monique. So she comes home and she's listening to this voice message from Meech, pretty much just saying, I know you've been hearing some things about me, but they're not true. And I just hope our family, is back together again. I'm like, family? You sound like Lamar Meech, like, bro, and you got a whole baby mother. I hate really that term, but I like saying it. When I say that baby mother, a type way. But yeah, you got a beautiful baby mama. You got a daughter that you barely see. Like, come on, like, what's going on? Like, maybe his baby mother, I think she's too much of a good girl for him. Like, she's probably, I think she's in college, she got her head on right. And most dudes, sometimes they don't be checking for that, I'm annoyed. Ugh. Anywho, Cash Doll is, pissed off at this voice message and start going crazy, start throwing stuff in the house. So yeah, she's frustrated because she can't really call the cops. I mean, she could call the cops, but it's going to create a whole mess. So I know she's probably just hoping everything's going to turn out nicely. So back at Slick house or Slick / Lamar's house, I think Lamar's just kind of staying over there, what have you. And he's on the porch and Slick rolls up and he has Zoe. And so Zoe, she runs and embraces Lamar. And, Lamar is just very happy to see her. And Slick, he looked all effed up and, he's looking like the real life, superhero. So he tells Lamar, like, I got an address on them Flannery boys. So, the whole time they didn't know where Meech and T lived at, but now they have an address. And I'm like, Lord, my heart can't take this now, this information. I don't know. So we at the family's house, and T and his girlfriend / baby mother is talking about the whole case situation. He's not sure what to do, and she was like, "Hey, this could be a great opportunity to pursue this case, and you'll have some money outside of what you got going on with your brother, because this whole drug thing is not working out for our family, okay?" And T, this whole episode, he's been frustrated because he is fearful for his family and his child's lives. Like, they're kind of deep in the game right now, and I could tell he's feeling very torn and very resentful. He loves this game. It's like a sport to him. But is it really worth it? Like, is crime really going to pay? Like, that's the true question here. So back at Cash Doll's house, she gets a knock or whatever, and it's Zoe, y'all. She's reunited, and it feels so good with her and Zoe. And of course, Zoe, she is not really aware of what the hell has been going on, okay? Because Misha's been lying to her all day. And to her knowledge, she was just having a nice little day with her quote-unquote Uncle Meech. So, she doesn't think anything is wrong, but she sensed that her mom is, was a little scared or something. But she's like, Mommy, is everything okay? She's like, yeah, everything's fine. So, yeah, y'all, she was like, come on, Zoe, let's go ahead and get you a bath. Lamar, he was trying to, get his little foot in the dome. She was like, nah, bruh. You ain't welcome up in this house no more. F you and Meech, because all y'all do is lie. And I was like, girl, you better go ahead and get you, a white collar man next time. Get you a nice little lawyer, doctor, or somebody, because these street dudes is a lot. It is a lot. So Lamar, he's a little pissed right now because like, dang, I lost my family again. So he kind of laughs like, yeah, it's on. Like, he really getting hard on. Like, he really getting excited now, at this point. So I'm like, Lord, this is going to be a hot mess. So y'all, now we're at Pat's front / barbershop, okay? And yeah, he apparently called Crooked Cop over to have some discussion, okay? He's pretty much offering Crooked Cop a job and say, hey, if I give you some information and some money, would you work for me? And he was like, nah, bro, I ain't trying to work for you. I work for eCourse, okay? My checks are going to say eCourse. And so, yeah, they're pretty much discussing how, Pat was saying, hey, Meech is a mutual problem of ours. And I'm like, how is Meech a problem with you? Like, you try to snitch on Meech. You pretty much excommunicated him. Either way, you're not getting any money from what Meech is going to be, used to make for you. So, shouldn't you be focused on getting a new crew or something instead of trying to snitch on Meech? Like, I don't like this, Pat. Oh, Lord, Pat, you're doing too much. So, yeah, y'all, the cop was not buying it, and I'm happy because he was like, nah, bro, like, I'm good. I do not want to work for you. I already have an employer. I don't want any more jobs. I'm good. And he also mentioned, he was like, dang, you dudes from New York, y'all something else. And I didn't realize, hey, the character Pat is quote unquote from New York. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Why New York dudes and New York people always trying to move somewhere else and start other ish. We some real entrepreneurs, y'all. Just joking. Anywho, y'all, this scene was so good and I was so invested in these characters. Not until the end of the scene, I realized, hold up, this is the scene that I have been wanting. These are two real life brothers that in the same scene, in the same show, that I have been asking for since episode 1. And I was like, dang, like, I didn't even realize it because I was so invested. They did such a great job. I enjoyed it, y'all. Like, I love seeing stuff like this. I'm cheesy, I know, but whatever. So yeah, y'all, Meech, he is at a meetup, okay? So Tiny, which is the defiant 12th Street boy, a crew member, apparently he's trying to, slick a little deal with Meech, you know what I'm saying? And they have a little meeting in the car, and you can tell they both still don't really trust each other. They both strapped up. And yeah, the guy was pretty much saying like, hey, I'm about that money, that moolah, that cheddar, okay? I don't care about loyalty. I don't care about gangs, about colors. I don't care about none of that. I'm about this bread. And I ain't gonna lie, he giving me some New York, like, flavor. Like, no, like, I really like his style. I low-key like this dude. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. And, yeah, Tiny, he's a wild card because he don't have no loyalty to anyone. So if he is motivated by money, that means he cannot be trusted at all because he ain't loyal to nobody. So yeah, he's going to be a risky character in the future. So y'all, we're at the neighbor's house. T is on the porch, chilling with the neighbor or whatever. And Meech pulls up. So they go back and forth about, they finally got the money to pay Big L for their first little purchase. And, Meech was like, okay, you need to tell me everything you know about her, okay? Because I want to be prepared. And T was like, bruh, pump your brakes. She only wants to work with me. So Meech, he was kind of tight. He was like, why? And he was like, well, she thinks you're a little flashy. And he was like, flashy? Meanwhile, he got this red, white, and blue Adidas tracksuit, this 4-finger diamond out ring with Meech on it. He was like, I'm not flashy. It was so cute, y'all. That scene literally had me laughing out loud, literally. But you can tell Meech is going to have a problem because he's used to having control. And this is the aspect where he's not really going to be able to control too much. And he's going to have to trust Meech. And Terry. So this is going to be interesting to see. But T said something very pivotal. He said, hey, not everybody is going to like the both of us. People don't have to like both of us for us to do business. And I don't know. I like that. I'm like, okay, T is kind of giving Meech some game at this point. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting dynamic going forward with this whole Big L situation. So Crooked Cop and New Cop and Good Cop, New Cop / Good Cop, they're, knocking at the door at the witness house because apparently he advised them, like he realized and found out some more information about, the whole J-Mo missing situation. And the neighbor kind of comes up like, hey, yeah, last time I saw him, he had some suitcases and boxes. So, yeah, he's gone. So, yeah, of course, we can tell that the Crooked Cop has something to do with that. And of course, the Good Cop, he's like, I don't like this. So Crooked Cop and Meech meet at the gas station, and Crooked Cop pretty much just quit. He's like, I am not doing this anymore. And he also asked Meech, did he take care of this? So long story short, Meech, some type of way, took care of the witness. He's still alive, but he mentioned that the witnesses should be halfway to California by now. So we know that the witness is originally from California. And yeah, I don't know. Meech probably offered him some money and threatened his life like a good old drug dealer that he is. So yeah, that hopefully, that may be an avenue for it to come back in the future. Because I do not see Good Cop letting this go. And so yeah, y'all, speaking of Good Cop, okay, he was doing a whole stakeout. He peeped this whole exchange between Meech and T. We saw him kind of like looking from afar in his little Volvo. So now he knows something is up with the Crooked Cop, y'all. I can't wait till next episode. So back at the house, T, he's on his little twin bed. And he got like 5 kilos just all laid out. And I'm like, dang, bro, like, come on, like this is a little dumb here. So Meech walks in. He's like, hey, how'd you get in here? He was like, the spare key through the back door. And I'm like, oh, is this another Easter egg? Like, is somebody going to be able to sneak in the future? Like, I can't, because, we all on alert now because everybody know where they live. So I'm a little stressed out. So they're talking about, J-Mo and Rock and B. Mickey and everybody, the whole drug business. And lo and behold, the mama walked in, dropped her glass. She is like, shocked. I'm like, mama, you shocked, but you shouldn't be that shocked but it's one of those things where something in your heart and you feel it and you have that intuition, especially as a woman, but sometimes certain things don't become real until it's really said out loud. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where she didn't want to believe it. In her heart, she knew he was lying to her. But hey, it happened. She walked in. The brothers, they were just mouth wide open. I'm like, y'all talking shop in the crib, in y'all room. The door wasn't even locked. Y'all could at least lock the door. Come on, bro. Like, y'all need to be thinking. Like, y'all forward thinkers, but sometimes y'all just be making some bad decisions. But at the end of the episode, Big Meech was narrating and pretty much saying the worst lies are the ones we tell to ourselves. And of course, I think he was referencing to the mom. She was telling herself a lie, thinking that T wasn't part of the game, and he actually was a part of the game, y'all. That is the end of the episode. I am hoping you guys stuck around for this review. I love this episode. I give it a good 9. It was really, really exciting. I enjoyed it. yeah, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are not. Please leave a comment, share this video. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will catch you guys episode 6. And lo and behold, I know it's going to start heating up more and more and more. We have 3 more episodes left, y'all. Jesus, this is a mess. All right, well, you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are listening to this, and I will catch you next week. Thank you.